Once upon a time, when the universe was sleeping, there came a little guy called Mr. Carbon. Mr. Carbon was not born in hospitals like you and me. He was not an animal or a bird either. He was born from the heart of giant stars. When three helium alpha bodies bumped into each other, Mr. Carbon was born. Mr. Carbon was born with a giant smile and atomic number 6 tattooed on his chest. Well, Carbon had 4 hands, but 4 legs? Nope. And for him to travel far and wide, he needed a cab. And at that time of need, Uncle Supernova came to the rescue. When the luminous bomb of a star exploded, the supernova took place and threw carbon all over the universe like tiny droplets of water. But the problem was that the supernova strength could only walk till the realms of the space, but Mr. Carbon, being the rebellious self he was, he did not let this stop him. He started on his own journey towards the center of the earth, where he found his house. Little did Carbon knew that he would find his home, a place where he would meet his 3 little friends, the land, the ocean, the atmosphere. But, his peace was soon interrupted when the cyanobacteria invaded. His toddler days were now gone. The battle of photosynthesis took place. The battle of photosynthesis was a place where cyanobacteria charged towards carbon. They faced head-on in the dust and ashes of the battleground. It was a terrific battle. But the after effects of the war are never good. It was filled with a depressing tranquility. And in that time, the great mediator, oxygen, arrived. He motivated Carbon and his friends. Carbon had lost a lot of his powers, let me tell you that. And his friends, even more. And at that time, the great mediator motivated them. And that day, the land, the ocean, the atmosphere, under the influence of carbon, formed a pact. And that, my friends, marked the beginning of the carbon cycle. Mr. Carbon and his friends worked tirelessly day and night. But out of boredom, one day, he decided to take a voyage, his maiden voyage to the outskirts of Earth. From meeting the cavemen in the form of charcoal to adorning the eyes of the Egyptian, Mr. Carbon was all set for an adventurous ride. But that did not end here. He met his friends in the ancient China. In the mines of China, he wore a cute little shiny gown and was called the Diamond there. And the Chinese loved him. He met his brothers in the great Mediterranean, in the Roman Empire and the Han Dynasty. But, again, the Industrial Revolution came. The Industrial Revolution was a place where Carbon took his job as a laborer pretty seriously, and he, along with his friends, worked day and night, sweating blood, sweat, and tears, to put all his energy into one weapon, a weapon so powerful for the entire mankind, the fossil fuel. But little did Carbon knew. Well, you all must have heard that quote from a little kid called Newton, that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And Mr. Carbon was no exception to it. The Industrial Revolution was the omen of the upcoming fire in the earth, the global warming. He did not know that his worst nightmare had finally come true. His house was burning. Today, even now, carbon's earth continues to deteriorate. Now, there's one line I would like to speak about carbon. The carbon's friends, his lands have scars and crashes. Here, the ocean cries and the atmosphere is dark due to the dust in the sky. The earth's inhabitants leave him. The humans are dying because of poverty. The earth is inflicted with famines. According to the World Health Organization, climate change is directly contributing to humanitarian emergencies from floods, hurricanes, wildfires, etc. Researchers also show that 3.6 billion of people are living in places inflicted with climate changes. And between 2030 to 2050, there are around 250,000 people who are going to have 250,000 additional deaths that is going to take place because of climate change. The WHO states that those 250,000 people, the major reason of their death will be undernutrition, diarrhea, malaria, etc., which is getting worse because of the climate changes. Now, the judges might ask me, why is it that Earth is facing these issues? To that, I answer. Climate change is getting a very important highlight because it is happening because of the overconsumption of fuel that is produced by us. It is happening because of the high demand of transportation and the huge want of polymers. But now you might ask me, how am I able to support climate change and prevent it? The only way is reformation. No one talks about reformation after our India got freedom, but we need a reformation here. A reformation that will make the industrialists speak about renewable sources. A reformation where kids will learn the value of pure water, and a reformation where friends will carpool, and a reformation where people will know the value of reduce, reuse, and recycle. At the end, I would like to finish with a quote from Janine Benyus. Organisms don't think of carbon dioxide as poisons. Plants and organisms that makes shells and corals think of it as building blocks. Thank you.